Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Gaelic Glory for your GAA Championship weekend preview. There's 4 games to discuss in the Gaelic Football Championship. We have Armagh versus Down and Donegal versus Tyrone. And then in Leinster, we have Kildare facing Louth and Dublin facing Offaly. So we're going to preview those 4 games. But the only 4 games this weekend. I just want to apologise about there being no review over last weekend's action. I really do apologise. I have no reason. I actually have no reason. I'll be brutally blunt, but I do apologise that I'll make up for it. I'll make up for it on Monday. We'll do a longer recap if that makes sense. But before we get stuck into the video, please like the video, comment and subscribe. Let us know if your county is playing this weekend. My county is, if you can't tell by the accent already. Dublin. We'll discuss them. I'll try not to include any biases. If I am, let me know. I don't think I am. I think I'm being fair in all departments. But look, I will preview last weekend's action quickly. Wasn't expecting Donegal to win at all. And if they did win, I didn't expect them to win by that margin. I thought this game would be very close. But Oren Lynch coming up off his line. Maybe that's something Mickey Hart will beat into Orange's head. Stay in your goal during the whole 70 minutes plus of the game. Do not come out. Because look, Donegal in that game capitalised big time on that. And they were the well-deserved winners, 100%. And look, I'm sure it's something they'll work on come the championship, because look, they're already going to be in the group stages of the All Series. So just a bit of rest for Derry now. Sit back and see what happens. But I mean, look, I backed them to win the whole Ulster, and they let me down. But look, I think everyone predicted they would win the Ulster. But that's just the joys and the love. Well, yeah, that's just the joys of the GA Championship in Gaelic and hurling. We're going to get loads of shocks, and that's just the love of the sport. That's just the love of the sport. But look, I want to jump into it. And what other game did we have? Tyrone and Cavan going to extra time. I looked at that result, and Tyrone were ahead by a good margin. I thought the Tyrone still progressed, but Cavan getting a few goals, getting them in there extra time, but they just couldn't keep that momentum flowing, and they just lost against Tyrone. Then we had Kerry beating Munster, Kerry beating Cork in Munster. 3-point win for Kerry, 3-point win for Kerry. I think it was against Cork. I mean, you have to give it to Cork. You know, again, they weren't expected to win, but I thought they gave Kerry a decent game. Kerry just, the quality in the end just got Kerry over the line, in my opinion. So, look, I do think that it was a good game there. I watched it on GA Go. Didn't pay for it, just to add. Then what else did we have? Clare beating Waterford, so it'll be Kerry-Clare in the Munster final, and it'll be Mayo beat Roscommon, and Sligo, Galway. I mean, it's meant to believe Sligo are ahead in injury time, and then Lake over Galway got them to the Connacht final, so it'll be a Mayo Galway final in Connacht. But I tell you what, Galway this year are just woeful in all departments, aren't they? Like, you know what to expect from them. I thought it would have been a bit of an easy game for them. It's been winning by maybe 5, 6, 7 plus, but it just wasn't to be for Galway. But look, they're in a Connacht final, so look, they done something right in the end. But that late goal broke the hearts of Sligo. Am I missing anything else in the football in the Gaelic department? Munster, Kerry, Cork, Waterford, Clare, Connacht, Roscommon, Mayo, Galway, Sligo, Ulster, Donegal, Derry, Tyrone, Cavan. I've covered it all. So let's jump into this weekend's action. And I also we've had a few subscribers since, so the views are going up on the channel. So look, everything's going well. If we could just follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter or X, whatever boat you jumped on in the social department, name and voice, please do follow them socials as well and subscribe to these channels. Be much appreciated. Look, let's not wait around. Let's jump into game number 1, and we're going to start off with Dual Star games because I think it makes sense. We go Saturday into Sunday. So, first game up, Armagh versus Down, 5:15 on Saturday. The Ulster semi-final in Clones. I mean, look, I tell you what, right? Armagh, you know, beat Fairmont in the quarterfinals by 9 points. 11 points, shall I say. Look, I think Armagh are the favourites for this. You know, Down beat Antrim by 4 points in the Ulster quarterfinals. So the favourites coming into this game are Armagh. And I mean, look, I think Down this year have been having one of those years where, you know, they done well in the league, but they didn't win it. They lost to Westmead. But up until that Westmead game in the league final, Down were doing very, very well. Similar to last year too. Now they done well until they faced Mead in the Tolchin Cup final. So could Down have to settle for a provincial time? I don't think they do. Again, I'll have to look through the whole thing there. Maybe the league final just making it there could help them. But look, I'll have a look at Gaelic Statsman. Hopefully he can get me out of jail. As he's done in previous times now, in fairness to the lad. We'd love to have him on the channel sometime in the future. But look, I'm not going to say my prediction yet, but I think people know where I'm leaning towards. And look, I know I've done a championship, you know, who I predict to win who I predicted to win the provincial championships and all that sort of stuff. And if you haven't checked that out, maybe it's a good thing you haven't, but please do after this video. I think Armagh are going to win this game. I'm not going to beat around the bush because I'm not going to talk. I think Armagh will win this game. I think Armagh. I mean, look, after Derry Armagh made it to the Ulster final last year. Lost to Derry on penalties. Think they made it the year before. Could be wrong, maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure. 2 years ago is a long time ago when you think of it. But yeah, the reason why I back Armagh to win this game because I think they have more firepower. I think they're a better team. You know, they beat Fairmont by 11 points. They'll want to make it to an Ulster final, whether that's against Donegal or Tyrone. I'm sure if it's Donegal, they'd love to get revenge on the league final loss against Donegal by a point in Crow Park. You just look at the players, especially the attacking players that Armagh have. Reno O'Neill just being one, and there's a few others as well. You know, it's not just Reno O'Neill. So. And I just don't think Down will have enough. I think Armagh will win this game by about 6 or 7 points. I do think so. I know I'm not giving. I mean, I'm giving backup, but I'm not giving backup. I'm not previewing the game enough. But what I want to do, what it's just after looking at Down previous results and Armagh's previous results, they're the favourites, Armagh, and I back them to progress. Do Down have it in them to beat Armagh? I mean, look, Armagh haven't had a bad year so far. Made it to a league final. Gonna be in Division 1 next year in an Ulster semi-final, potentially Ulster final if they beat down. And I do think they will be down. Especially it's in Clones too, so obviously it's a neutral venue. So I think that'll be played in Monaghan's home turf, who are no longer in the competition. I mean, I know. I mean, it is mad how it can go. It is mad how this can go now because I think the Ulster Championship is wide open. I think it's wide open. I really, really do because you haven't got Derry in it, Monaghan aren't in it, Cavan aren't in it. Them. I mean, I think Derry and could you have Monaghan in there? Yeah, you could, you shouldn't, but Cavan aren't in there. So with Derry gone, it's anyone's trophy now. It is anyone's trophy. But I do think that Armagh will progress to the Ulster final. That is my prediction for this game. That's all your predictions as well. It's going to be an interesting game too. I think I mean, look, you'd imagine it'd be live. RT or maybe TG Carho would have it live, but you never know with them. May have to pay 10, 11, 12 euros now for a game. That should be televised for free. But look, Armagh to progress to the Ulster final. Next up, Donegal against Tyrone. Probably game of probably be, this is going to probably be being the game of the weekend as well, just like Donegal's game was last weekend against Derry. Donegal Tyrone Sunday, 2 p.m. Ulster semi-final. In Celtic Park, funny enough, so it's back to another trip to Derry again for Donegal. I mean, look, like I said previously, the Ulster Championship is wide open. And I think the favourites now to win it are Donegal, just because of what they done last weekend against Derry. Again, you look at Tyrone, didn't have, had an average but poor league, you could say. I mean, look, you could say it was an average. They finished 5th. What extra time last weekend against Cavan, only beating them by a point in the end. So could extra time have something to play in there? They had a lead and then they blew it. Again, and they were playing in Briefany Park, Cavan's home turf. But I do think the favourites are for the Ulster is Donegal. What Jim McGuinness has done so far with Donegal is it's good. It's Donegal so far. The county of Donegal, the fans of Donegal will be probably loving what they're seeing so far from their team and what Jim McGuinness is doing with that team. Because before Donegal returned, before Jim McGuinness returned, Donegal they weren't great. You know what I mean? They weren't great. They were poor, average. But since Jim McGuinness has come back in, Donegal have know-how. They have a swagger about them there, you could say. And after beating Derry last weekend, the favourites to win the Ulster, not the Ulster, the All-Ireland, that'll give them a big, big boost. And I do think Donegal will beat Tyrone. But honestly, I don't think Donegal will run away with it. Again, I said the same. I did say the same last weekend against when it was Derry Donegal, that Derry would win, but they won't be tight in the end. But Donegal won, and it wasn't tight in the end. But I do think Donegal will win this game by about 4 or 5, maybe 6. But look, that's not running away with it. That could be the home stretch. That could be a goal split in the sides. You just don't know. You just don't know. And with the Ulster, with the shocks, Did anyone expect Donegal to beat Derry last weekend? No. Was there a possibility? Most definitely. But they done it. So the Ulster I think, like I said, it's Ulster, Connacht, Munster, and Leinster. That's how I'd rank the provincial. But the Ulster are probably the best in the country, more competitive, and all that sort of stuff. Where Mayo and Galway, Roscommon sort of keep the Connacht competitive. Kerry, Cork keep the Munster alive, you could say, and then Dublin, just probably the only team there in Leinster who are just too strong for the rest. But you look at McBrearty, who was back last weekend for Donegal. He came on off the bench. The goalkeeper did come off, but he'd probably be back for this game, you'd imagine. I think it was a bit of a cramp. I'm not too sure. He did come off though with a leg problem, I think it was. So yeah, and then McHugh was good for Donegal last weekend. Like the English players were good for Donegal last weekend. I think they put four past Donegal. Oh, Derry. Like putting 4 goals past Derry is not easy. So you have to give Donegal credit there, and I do think Donegal will progress to the Ulster final, and I do think they'll win the Ulster final. I think it'll be Derry, Armagh, or Donegal, Armagh, and the Ulster final, and I'd imagine Donegal will win that game. But again, if it's Armagh in the final, Cavan, Donegal, whoever makes it to the Ulster final, it's going to be a very competitive, tight game, I'd imagine. And I do look forward to seeing who it is. But I do think Donegal will progress. I just think they'll be too strong. They'll have a lot more confidence after beating Derry, Jane McGuinness, so just want to get Donegal better and better as the season goes on. So I do think Donegal will progress to the Ulster final against maybe Armagh, Tyrone, or down. But look, that's all your predictions in the Ulster. Armagh down, Donegal, Tyrone. Please do let us know. Are Donegal going to win the Ulster Are Donegal going to win the Ulster Championship? Are they going to win it? Or will it be Tyrone? Will it be Armagh? Or will it be down? Please do let us know in the comment section below. I'd much appreciate it. Do you agree with me saying Donegal are the big favourites now to win the Ulster? Do let me know in the comments below. Next up, we'll move into Leinster. So I'm moving into another game on Sunday, Kildare versus Louth at Croke Park. Look, Kildare just about beating Wicklow in the Ulster in the Leinster quarterfinals by a point. I watched the highlights of that game, and Wicklow had the game in their hands, tried to kick along into an open goal, and it went wide. And unfortunately, that was it. And then I think it was Sargent went up the other end, fisted it over the bar. Kildare get the job done, but then Louth. Look, they sort of made easy work of Wexford, didn't they? Beating them by 7 points in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. So, yeah, and then you look at I just think coming into this game, what Louth have done, what Jay Brendan has done. I'm not saying that. I just think that even though Kildare, they're only win. It's meant to believe their first win of the year was Wicklow. That was the first win of the year, and that came in April. But I just think that Louth are going to be strong. Again, will this be a tight game? Could we see extra time? Could we see drama? You just never know. It's in Croke Park. How will Kildare play in Croke Park? Look, we know that their manager ain't a big fan playing in Croke Park. He always has his complaints there. I'm sure maybe he would have loved to play it elsewhere. Maybe in Portlaoise again, or maybe somewhere else around the country. Park Talcha, maybe, whatever. But you look at Jay Brennan, ex-Dublin player. Could he face the Dubs in the Leinster final? You just never know. But you look at the players that they have: Grimes, Samuel Roy, so on and so forth. I just think that Louth will be too strong. I really do. No disrespect to Kildare, but yeah, they beat Wicklow, but it came down to fine margins and silly decision making from Wicklow in the last few moments when you had an open goal. But look, if you see an open goal, you're obviously going to go for it from no matter what distance it is, or how far out it is, or how close you are. But I do think Louth will win this game, and I think it'll be look, this could be a very big margin. Look, the reason why I say this could be a big margin is because you look at what they've done against Wexford, and I think that Louth maybe score a goal or two in this game. They love their goals. They finish 6th or 5th in the league. The Mickey Hart, since he's left there, I'm sure many people expected Louth to maybe not be as good because he left, but they've been decent since Mickey Hart's left. Jared Brennan coming in. Louth coming into this game with confidence. Kildare coming to this game with a win. Look, they'll be loving that they're in the Leinster semi-final in Croke Park, but I just think Louth will be too strong, and I think it'll be. I'm honestly going to stick my neck out and say this could be a 6-7 point win. I do think this will be a big margin, a 5-6-7 point win for Louth in this game. And I do think Louth will be in another Leinster final. I mean, look, it's not to believe that when you look at the predictions, I have Louth finishing losing to Westmeath in a Leinster semi-final. That's what I had. So you can't write Kildare off nor Louth, but I just think Louth are the favourites coming into this game, and I do think they'll progress to the Leinster semi-final. That's all your predictions for this game, too, and why. Next up, the last game of the weekend, the last game of the Leinster Championship, Dublin versus Offaly at Croke Park, 4 p.m, Leinster semi-final, Sunday, all that sort of stuff. Offaly coming into this game after beating a team who are the favourites to make it to a Leinster semi-final in Laois. And I mean, it's mad when you look at it. It's mad when you look at it, because I'm looking at the Leinster here. Offaly made it to a Leinster semi-final last year, actually, against Louth. Went to extra time, and Louth beat them in extra time. So it is a shame because, I mean, look, Louth beat Laois by 8 points in Armagh Park, Port Laois. And I think many people expected Laois to beat Offaly, and I did. So the thing is about the Leinster this year, there has been shocks, there has been drama, crazy results. One team beats a favourite the next week to make it so far, and then you look at, for example, Westmeath Wicklow, probably one of the favourites to make it to the Leinster final. Wicklow beat them, and then they lose a week or two later to Kildare. It's just how it is with the Leinster. There has been drama besides in Dublin games, but then you look at Dublin, being made comfortably 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, you look at the players who Dublin have back. You have Fenton back. He'll serve that suspension he got against Derry will be wiped off now because he served that suspension against Meath. So they'll be strong in midfield. We have Stephen Cluxton back. Stephen Cluxton was obviously back for the game against Meath. Probably wasn't as great as game, but look, hopefully the cobwebs are well gone from the boots. James McCarthy came on. Paul Mannion done well, so you'd imagine he'd be playing again. Mick Fitzsimons, you'd imagine he'd be back up to match fitness now. He played a full 70 against Meath, so Dublin are getting stronger. And look, they're the favourites to win the Leinster. And unfortunately for Offaly, the people of Offaly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Dublin fan, anyone would say this. You don't have to be a Dublin fan, you don't have to be a GAA fan. You could be a Hurling fan, but I do think Dublin, I really, really hate to say it, I do, but I do, well, I don't hate to say it, I love the county, but if from the Dublin perspective, I'm glad that I'm going to say this, but I think many people won't surprise what I'm going to say, but I think Dublin will win this game by about 10 or more points. This could be a massacre. This could be gruesome. And people aren't liking the way the Leinster's gone, the competitiveness. They love the competitiveness up until a team has to play Dublin. You can't really do much there. You look at what Paul Flynn said in the Sunday game there a week or two ago. Other teams should just be more competitive. That's what they should do. You shouldn't just absolutely, we're playing Dublin now. Sure. What's the point? Teams should be more competitive. And some people agree with them and disagree with them. And that's totally normal in all departments. But I just think Dublin win this game. And I think it'd be, honestly, again, they beat Meath by a decent margin. By a big margin. Who are probably stronger than Offaly. So, yeah, I expect this to be a big win for Dublin. And I do think it'll be Dublin Louth in the Leinster final. But this has been the Gaelic Championship. Another weekend. We previewed Armagh down, Donegal Tyrone, Kildare Louth, Dublin Offaly. Please let us know your predictions in the comment section below. Much would you appreciate. Like the video, subscribe, follow our socials, links in the description, and I'll speak to you all on the next.